Hi everybody, today we have a Audi A7 Quattro 2012 and the complaint is excessive dusting on the wheels from the front brakes. You can see they're quite dirty. We're going to go ahead and replace all four, so stay tuned and we'll dig right in. It's hard for me to do both the removal of the wheels and everything with the camera, but what we're going to do is just do it in stages, and everybody knows how to take tires off anyway. We're lucky enough we have a lift here. I've removed the jack point covers so that my lift doesn't interfere with the body up here on all 4 points. And it was a bit tricky actually to get this lift and the car oriented in the right position in order to get it up. Okay, hang on. Alright, now we've gotten the Audi A7 front wheel removed. It's quite a beefy brake system, if I do say so myself. Quite large opposed pistons. Looks like it would definitely get the job done on the Autobahn. There's the tire wheel combination, and in order to remove, you don't need to remove the carrier. All you need to pull off is the caliper, and in order to do that, it looks like we have to remove this here, which is a T15 Torx, and it's easier to get a full set of those that'll fit your 3/8 inch ratchet. And then also in the back, instead of a regular bolt, it uses a 9mm Allen head underneath a little plastic cover. So we're going to proceed on from there. Hopefully you can see all of that. Okay, here we are back at the Audi A7. If you remember, I pointed to a Torx bolt, which is right here, and then you have to kind of pry this retainer out. On the back side, those 9mm bolts that I told you about, or pins, they don't want to just fall out, so you have to kind of put a little side torque on your Allen and slowly pull it out, and then they do come out. Now the funny thing about this Audi A7 is it looks like from the outside, the cover on, that this is an opposed piston, like a 4-piston brake, but it's not. It's actually a cheaper to manufacture 2-piston only on one side brake. The outer pads are different than the inner pads. The outer pads have a clip front to like that, and the inner pads, these are the new ones. I'm putting on an EBC red stuff ceramic, which if you believe all the marketing, it should drastically reduce the dusting. I've had very, very good luck with ceramics on my other vehicles. You see it has this long mount that goes inside of the caliper piston, and these go to the inside. So I have secured the caliper up to the spring with a couple zip ties joined together, which I just happen to have laying around. You need to support it with something, and also note when you are reassembling this, these 9mm Allens that come in from the back to hold the caliper on, they weren't really on super duper tight, so don't over torque anything. Snug a little bit more and you're probably good to go. Sorry I don't have the exact torque spec, but I've been doing this a long time and just kind of do a lot of it by feel. Okay, this is more of the EBC red stuff brakes. They do have a break-in coating, it says right on there. It's a sort of a silica based, almost sandpaper kind of thing, which according to the literature will prepare your rotors so that they beat in super well. Also, as per typical disc brakes, I've applied just a dab of grease, this dark material, right there where my finger is wiggling, on the ends, and also on these ends here. I was able to figure out exactly where that needed to go by looking at the old pad, and you can see bright metal right on those ends where it's rubbing, and on the outer ends just barely as well, just a little bit. And a little bit is good and a lot is not good, so go sparingly on that. I've already got the new outer one snapped in. They just snap in and out, so we're going to keep going. Okay, a quick revision to where I was earlier. I will have to go in the reverse order of operations, which is to insert the inner pad first. And it purely holds itself in with those springs that stick into the pistons. And I'm using a good sized C-clamp here to just push the pistons back into their bores. Got a little piece of wood underneath there to kind of keep from injuring anything on the caliper. And I just kind of picked it up and rested it on top of here for typical brake job, if you've done these, although things are bigger on this Audi A7 than many other vehicles, but it's the same concept. You do want to make sure both these pistons retract evenly. If not, you can move the C-clamp around so that they're both retracting, and you don't need to push it as far as it'll go. You just want to get it enough so that it can rest onto the rotor. I am going to spray some brake cleaner on that pad before I put it on, just from dirt and that gets on during installation. Okay, cheers. Okay, just a note on the driver's side of our A7, there is a wear indicator similar to like probably what a lot of BMWs and that use, and it stuck into the inner pad, and that one's filthy, so I'll use this new one. But you see that there's a slot for it right there, and so you can just take it out of that old pad, put it right into your new one. This connector is a bit difficult to get off. On the end that's on the car, you need to push with a needle nose on the back side of the rearmost part of the connector here, and then it'll pull apart. Then this is still going to be stuck into the back side. It's stuck in like this. You need to pry this piece out a little bit and then rotate it about 90 degrees, and then it will come out of the slot. Anyway, that's the trick to doing that. And then there's a little spring here that goes on this wear sender when it fits in here. Well, good luck. Finish up. Okay, we're almost done with our A7 on the front. I've reconnected this lead and this lead here for the wear sensor. Plugged that all in. Tightened up 9mm on the back, and need to remember to put these plugs back in here. Not absolutely critical, but it does keep salt and road dirt and things out of those cavities in there. One other thing, they may figure this out, but If this helps you, great. Putting this back on, it is a bit spring loaded, fits just like it came off, just like that, except now you start to run into resistance, and I got to get the bottom part seated properly. There it goes. And so now it's a bit closer, and it's all where it's supposed to go, but it's still not lined up with that hole. But if you just push it on there, it'll actually hold itself. Well, it did this when I wasn't on camera. Now that I am on camera, it doesn't want to do it. Like I said, it's got a bit of a spring on there. I had this on and then took it off so I could show you, all you folks on the video, the feet. Let me get my light around here a little better. The feet are supposed to go up on the brake caliper bracket and not the caliper housing itself. So it goes up one on there, one on the bottom. Then you'll see there's a fair bit of tension it's going to come upon getting that on there. But like I said, I had this thing on there. Hold on. Okay. Now it's just kind of clipped in there, and you want to grab the, don't forget about the cover. It goes on like so. Sorry about the camera work. I'm having to work and shoot at the same time. If you want to be my assistant cameraman, the position is open. Anyway, so that's how it all goes together. Tighten that up. I need to just get it threaded on correctly, and we're good to go on the front. Okay, here we are on the rear of the 2012 A7, looking at replacing the brakes to keep them from dusting up like that. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the wheel's filthy. Anyway, stock brakes do tend to dust a lot, in my opinion. This looks a bit complicated, but in reality, we're going to leave most of this hooked up. Just going to take off bolt here and down here and pull this whole caliper loose so that we can get at the brake pads in here. And this is the wear sensor, just like in the front. I couldn't really show you the front because it was so hidden under all the suspension bits, but here's the line, and it goes down in between the see if I can get the camera to quit interfering. It goes right there, plugs into the pad itself. So you just need to push this or pull, whichever way, this little pin out so that you can rotate this thing. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. There it goes. Now we just turned it a little bit. This thing will pop loose. And then you need to push on this connector. See if you can get that to come off. I had to use a needle nose last time because the thing was a bit stiff. And that one's fighting me again, but anyway, it's just a connector. Alright, so that'll be about it. The back should be okay. We're back on that rear driver's side of the A7 Audi 2012. I've put the caliper and the pads back on. You do need to use a caliper tool, which looks like this, and an adapter which fits on the end like that, and it's got this thing that sticks out, and the caliper piston has to be turned clockwise back in. You can't just use a C clamp. So you need one of these special tools, and they're pretty cheap, so handy to have around. So you get that pushed back in just enough, get it all assembled, and then take this wear sensor and the little clip and then reassemble that, which I unfortunately just dropped. Like I said, I need a camera person if you are wanting to be a camera person. I'm just joking, but it would be handy. Okay, so push that on there. This thicker part of the wear sensor where it sticks out, that goes towards the rotor on the inside, and okay, I'm just installing the wear sensor. Just put it into that groove. Actually, I think that's it. Got it in there far enough. And the way Audi has it on this particular vehicle, let's pull this cap, lay just like it was when you disassembled it, and put the cap back on. That'll hold that wire. When I was installing the caliper, this I believe it's parking brake setup, this connector had to come off to give me a little extra room, so we're going to reinstall that, and we can put this, put some more light on it, kind of tricky in there. Take this piece here and get it to go in to this holder. Oops, because I have that bolt to replace yet here in a second, it's come loose. But anyway, this just goes back in the way you want it. You reverse the. Okay, just a bit of info I kind of skimmed over or didn't cover on the other rear wheel. You'll need a 15mm wrench to put on the inside here while you loosen up. And this top one's kind of funny looking, but it's got this to loosen this bolt up to take the caliper loose. You know, the tension is between these two and not here. This is a floating caliper, so you just put your 15 there, unloosen that, take both of those off, Then you're going to probably want to take this connector off to give you a little extra room. There we go. That pops off like that. I'll get to the turning the brakes